set it as a school to teach, acquiring knowledge of the names of birds, beasts, and plants. Well, this couplet is actually very famous in the history of museums in China because of its author. Take a look at the character Siwen. Who is Siwen? He is the famous industrialist Zhang Jian. In 1905, Zhang Jian founded the first museum established by the Chinese, Nantong Museum. You might ask, why is it refer to a garden or park? Instead of you, refer to a courtyard or an institution. The answer can be found in this couplet because when Zhang Jian went to the East Asia for an inspection in 1903, he thought the museum was a very important means of public education. So he built a very beautiful garden in his hometown, Nantong. As you can see at this year's expo, on his display cabinet at Nantong Museum, we used a corner of Zhang Jian's building at that time. If you go to the museum, you can see very beautiful tiny buildings, and these buildings are displayed in a very beautiful garden. This is the current main building of Nantong Museum. Every time the wisteria bloomed, the entire balcony of Mr. Zhang Qiang would be full of his hand-planted wisteria flowers. Museums are now very common in everyone's life. But it's hard to imagine more than 100 years ago. At the beginning of the last century, Chinese have just stepped into their own museum. The first group of people who founded museums for the Chinese people. What kind of hardships did they endure? What kind of happiness did they get?